Good morning. It's
Hi.
Tuesday, and we're here to start a new lesson, a new masterpiece. I've done this masterpiece with students before in third grade, and I had to kind of like get rid of it in my curriculum because of time issues and constraints. So it's so exciting that we're going to explore the world of Escher today, and we'll talk about Escher in a couple minutes, but let's do the pledge real quick first. Okay, Lindsay, you want to grab that pledge
Yes,
thing?
I'm getting there.
Okay. Hi, Mom. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so, ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. So today, Lindsay, can you pull up on here a picture of MC Escher for us? We're going to zoom this down, and I'm going to switch this around like we always do. Good Wednesday or Tuesday morning to everyone. I hope you guys had a great Mother's Day weekend. All right, so the needs for today. Today you're going to need index cards, a pencil, tape, and some scratch paper or just some copy paper, just practice paper, because today we're just going to start making some of our tessellations, okay? So here's an image of MC Escher. And MC Escher was born in 1898, and he lived in the Netherlands. He wasn't a very good student, believe it or not. And he ended up creating these images, like I'm going to show you some of his images because I think they're important to see, that were like tessellations and very mathematic. And he actually failed math when he was in math. And then he actually went to a school for architecture for his like college studies. And that was kind of like a slap in the face back in the day. And he ended up just falling in love with, good morning, everyone. He fell in love with the idea of perspective. And he fell in love with like having different views of what we see for perspective. And here are some of his images that you can see, you know, things are on different planes. And here's another one. He, I think, did 110 or 101 different vanishing points in one of his pieces of art. He definitely loved the idea of, look at this one where it's just going all over the place, where he, there's some tessellations that he started doing. You can see they transform or transfer into this human form, and it's really cool. So we're going to learn how to do some tessellations, and I'm going to show you. And he loved playing with things like hands, drawing hands. I don't know if anyone has seen
That's
this.
a pretty famous one.
That's pretty famous for him. Yeah, a lot of people have seen this one.
Usually it's in art rooms.
Right. And so he loved the idea of taking something and making it look like something's on top of it. And so these tessellations that he did, and here's another really famous tessellation piece. So he has his tessellation right here, and then he draws different planes of things. Like he loved dealing with planes on a piece of art. This is just very hard to draw. Very hard to draw.
It looks like a picture almost, yeah.
I mean, he's done everything from cylinders to books to cubes that are, you know, that's a 10-sided cube. He was just showing people, look, I really know what I'm doing here. So this is kind of what we're going to work with, are his tessellations. And he had a fascination with tessellations that ended up, I'm sorry, I saw the tessellation on an art room wall. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes, you did. Absolutely good. I do have one of Mr. MC Escher's tessellations on an art room wall. Yes, I do. And he was a very old man when he passed away. He definitely had a fascination with just dealing with space, dealing with all these different things. So we're going to honor him. And this is kind of what we're doing. We're going to do the first 3 tessellations that MC Escher kind of learned how to do. And they're made with squares. So that's why I said everyone's going to need their actual paper or index cards like this, okay? And I'm going to put this on black paper so you guys can see this a little bit better. So, and I'm going to zoom in. So I hope everyone has an index card or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. I said, I hope you have a bunch of these. The lined part or the lined index card's better, but if you don't have the lines, don't worry about it, okay? Now, we are not computers. I just want to remind you of that when we make our cut on this, if you don't have a paper cutter at home, I fortunately, obviously I'm an art teacher, I have a paper cutter at home. I was able to cut mine into 3" by 3" squares with an actual paper cutter. If you have access to a paper cutter, you might want to cut yours with a paper cutter because it's so exacting. What we're going to do is we're going to take this square, this shape, and we're going to manipulate it, or we're going to just draw on it, and we're going to change the area. So the area is, we're going to take away from here, and we're going to add to different parts. So the area remains the same, but we've tessellated it, just like Escher did. And I know a lot of you are like, Miss Meyer, you're speaking mumbo jumbo to me right now, and that's all right. You'll learn as we go, okay? I promise you that. So if you all have at least 2, you need 2. You need 2 of these right now. So I've got 2. I'm going to take one and I'm going to overlap it on the other one like this. So look, see that? So it looks like a letter L. Can you guys all see that? So you're going to take one, and you got to kind of be precise, guys, that like it doesn't get crooked. You got to be so picky about this part, because if you don't do this part right, there's a problem with area. Okay, because we need this to be 3" by 3". So if you're like a little bit wavy or a little bit of off center, that could be a problem. So I really want you to make sure that you've got it nice and neat on the edge, and you can even turn it over and check on the back. Like, you know, you could look on the back and make sure that it's equal and it's nice and that it doesn't look curved. Like, see that? That looks off center. It's a 90-degree angle. So you're going to take that once you've got a 90-degree angle, and you're going to draw a pencil line on there, right, like that. And do it kind of dark. I told you always draw light till you get it right, but do that kind of dark. So now, are you good, Lindsay? Mm-hmm. So now you have a line on your index card, okay? Now, instead of you cutting this right away and kind of having a bad cut, we're going to do a different kind of cut. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this index card and we're going to fold it on that line. You have more control of keeping this straight when you're folding it than you do when you're just straight up cutting it. And you're going to take your fingers and you're going to really just sit there and crease it and crease it, and then you're going to turn it over and do the same thing and crease it and crease it and crease it. And you're going to keep on doing that like 3 to 4 times. Okay? 4 times. There we go. You're weakening the paper. You're taking all that paper and you're telling it, you are getting very weak. Now, you could take some water right now and put water right here and tear it. But I bet if I take my ruler, and after I've done that, I can sit there, and if it doesn't want to work, let's see. Oh, that's good, good, good. That looks really good. Now, when we get done with that line, it's going to be a little rigid. That's okay. But we're going to have that line on the right side of our paper. So everybody tear your paper. Oh, your dog's watching too? That's so cute. Aw, that's so funny because, you know, my dog's birthday was yesterday, Bowie, and he's 2, and he is crazy about animals on TV. I mean, I literally have to turn the TV off sometimes because he'll bark if there's an animal on TV. And so yesterday I let him watch Beverly Hills Chihuahua, which is his favorite movie, and he was so exhausted by the end of it. It was hilarious. I'm sure you guys, yeah, it was cute. It was so cute. Oh, Bowie. Okay, so does everyone have their square ready? I want thumbs up if there's not very many people watching. So if everyone has their square ready, what we're going to do is we're going to start, and we're going to, so there's three rules to tessellations. The first rule is you go from corner to corner. So the left corner here to the right corner here, I'm going to make one contour line. A contour line is a line that you don't take off your paper. Now, here's some don'ts. So let me show you some don'ts. So this would be a don't. Going way, way, way down and, over and taking up all that paper. No, that's a don't. This is something that you don't want to do, okay? Now, the other don't is you don't want to make like little lines like this that just barely, go inside that area and then they go up to that corner like that. That's too little. So we need to find a happy medium. So what I would like, again, so the first thing is you go corner to corner. That's the biggest mistake my artists make. They don't go corner to corner. For all three of our tessellations, this will always be a rule. And then we're going to go corner to corner here too. So I need everyone to take their pencil. You're going to draw a contour line. You don't need to make it the way I need to make mine. Just maybe have some fun things going on like that. There you go. And leave some room over here on this edge so that you can draw down that side. So I could even take this and bring it back a little bit more like that and just erase that out so that I have more room. So you want a little bit of room over here on this corner or this vertice right here, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to draw the same contour or a contour line from this vertice to this vertice or corner. And again, now you could go through and have some fun and draw a little bit thicker and out more, and you could go and make some crazy looking lines there. But remember, you're going to have to cut this. And you're going to have to cut this in one cut. That could be tricky. You need all three pieces of this to make this work. That's the tricky part, okay? So if I make this super thin right in here, and I have that first part, that might be hard to cut. So whatever you do, so I can show you like another one. Like another one, I could start corner to corner using my pencil, using a contour line that doesn't lift up, drawing down, going through. And maybe I make it a little bit easier for me. I go corner to corner, again, drawing another one. And again, having fun with this because you're going to be changing area. Mine look a little bit the same, but a little bit different, and that's fine. And you should be on the lined part of your paper. So again, you have a 3" by 3" square. You have decided to draw a contour line, which is one line that you draw without picking up your pencil, that's going from one corner to another corner on the top. And now you're going to do the same thing, going from one corner to another corner to the bottom, drawing one continuous line. And again, the big no-nos are, these are the big no-nos. You don't want to draw, like this would not tessellate very well because you're not going inside. So if you just sit there and do a little wavy line all the way across like that, that's not going to give you much excitement. Or like changing the area up. Or if you go way, you have time, you could do something way deep and crazy like that if you did something very small there. You could do that, but too much might be hard for you. Also, you don't want to do something like this where you sit there and make it so impossible. I've had students that have done this. Well, good luck trying to cut that out. I'm just saying that's going to be really, really hard to cut out. You have to do this in one cut. So when you're doing this, you want to think about something that you can actually cut in one cut and get a separate piece. That would be pretty easy to do, okay? And then again, drawing down on your 3 by 3. So once you've got that, we're going to take our scissors and we are going to take our time. And we're going to be really quiet, and we're going to be really focused, and we're going to take this, and we're going to cut one single cut. And you want to start on that corner. So if you don't start on the corner, see, I'm going to zoom in here. You got to start on that corner. If you start a little bit off on that corner, you're going to have problems. And don't worry if you don't cut on the line that you made. Like, say here, I'm going through and cutting this in one felt swoop, and I go through and I'm like, I can't make that. That's fine. The only thing that you need to worry about, the only thing you need to worry about is ending up in that corner again and making sure that you cut on that vertice or corner. And look, it just drops out, and it should fit back in like a puzzle piece. And it's okay that I did not cut on my line. The only thing I had to worry about was making sure that I went corner to corner. That's important. And I was a little off of my corner there, but that's okay. And then let me show you Lindsay's real quick. So Lindsay has hers cut. This is very nice. She did a very nice job, and hers is totally different than mine. She went from corner to corner. Now, she drew 3 on here, but you only need 2. So that's all right. She did a good job. She only needs the one right here on the right and the top one. I think she was just practicing, weren't you, Lindsay?
Yeah.
That looks good. So right here, that's perfect. It should fit back. If you have 3 pieces, like if you went like this, let me show you the nose. This is what you don't do. Like, so if I went, oh, okay, I'm going to cut this out. Well, I'm having some problems. Oh, goodness, I'll just take that and cut that out. And now I'll have this one. There we go. There you go, Miss Meyer. That's perfect, isn't it? No, 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 no. No, you got a mess. So this is not what I want you to do. You need to have it. Well, I got to show, because some friends do that. The biggest problem I've had friends do is that they don't go corner to corner. That's the biggest mistake I've seen over and over and over again. And that's when it won't tessellate. It just won't do it. We're doing this like, it's weird. MC Escher would have scientific notebooks filled with tessellations and how to tessellate and mathematics. And then he would send these out to his mathematical friends, and they would figure out all these different ways to tessellate things. And they've done, hexagons. They've done all different kinds of shapes. So your next thing again is you're going to start here with your scissors, and you're going to cut now this edge. Now this one is your first try. So you may end up liking this one, or you may not liking it. And so here's the thing. You can choose, I gotta get in that corner real quick, to create another one if you want to. I didn't get in that corner perfect, and that could be a little bit of an issue. That's all right. I'm gonna keep it. That's all right. It's not that bad. So, hi, Mrs. Curran. We're talking about area and tessellations right now and manipulating things like that. So right now, after I'm done cutting this out, I should have 3 pieces that now are different from the cube. So what we're doing is we're taking the area of the cube, and we're going to manipulate that area and turn it into a tessellation. The first tessellation that we're going to do is called transfer. And the transfer one looks like one tessellation is following the next. So in this tessellation, so when we look at this tessellation right here, this is a transfer tessellation. I'm sorry, no, this is not a transfer tessellation because they go opposite of each other. So in a transfer tessellation that we have, Lindsay, can you go on my Facebook page real quick? I'm going to look at, let me see real quick. Yeah, I'm going to kick us off alive here. How do you get out of that? I want to show you guys real quick the transfer tessellation that I'm talking about. So a transfer tessellation right here, which one of my students is holding up, is a tessellation that just goes one right behind the other, right behind the other. Okay, also, here is another transfer tessellation right here. So you can see these bears are following each other. And it's up to you to figure out what you want your tessellation to be. So when we manipulate this square, thank you, Lindsay. When we manipulate this square, we're going to move these pieces to create this transfer of area to create this new space that's going to fit perfect. So here we go. What we're going to do, I hope you all have everything cut out now. So you're going to take your pieces, and remember, you should have 3. If you have cut them like this, it's not going to work. You have to have 3 pieces. You're going to get a piece of tape ready. And what I like to do is I like to take my piece of tape and already put it on my first piece like that. And I want everyone to look at me, watch me now, and we're going to slide this down and place it at the bottom as perfect as we can without any gaps like this. A gap is problems or overlaps. Like if I overlap it and put it on top of it without it being like perfect, like they need to butt up to each other. They need to actually like almost touch each other, like actually edge to edge like this. Do you see that? If you overlap or if you have a gap, that's going to be a change in the area, and it's not going to tessellate for you. So you really need to watch that it's actually, your actual, hopefully your paper that you have that you're using has a little bit of thickness, and you can bump it up to each other. So a bump up's good, but overlapping's not. And then giving too much space is not good. So the no's are no space, no overlap, but perfectly lining up right next to each other so that they almost are acting like a new piece of paper. So I took my tape, already have it on. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to turn off my voice. I'm going to look down. I'm going to slide it up. And I'm going to make sure that I kind of lock it in place so that it's not overlapping, that it's on there perfect. And when I do, I can take my other hand, and you got to be really picky about this, and tape it down. And it should feel good. And when you turn it over, you should see, that you could actually bend this pretty nicely without doing that. So I'm going to tape that other side too. It's hard to do at first, and sometimes you have to take your tape to get into the areas and make it a little bit smaller, but I'm going to tape it right there on the back. There we go. All right. And we're going to tape it here. So now, basically all we've done is I still have this side piece here, is we've taken our top piece, we've placed it on the bottom, really being careful about making sure that we can actually, you got to be exacting on this a little bit, guys. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be close. So now I could actually take this and bend this because I have it taped securely in place. And I can bend it forward and backwards because I want you to put tape on both sides. So I can bend that forward and backwards because I have just that perfect lineup right there. If you don't have that, you need to get that. If you've overlapped it too much, you're changing the area, and unfortunately, it won't be so successful. So once you've done that, you're going to go through and you're going to take this piece, and the only other flat piece we have is over here, right? So we're transferring it. That's why this is called a transfer tessellation. We're taking it from one side and we're just sliding it over to the other side. And what's so great, if you have lined paper, I'm going to zoom in. If you have the lined, look at that. Isn't that cool? There's no guesswork there because you can line up each line, and there you go. You have your tessellation that you can see lined up. Isn't that cool? So if you're off, look, if you're off, it'll tell you. So look, that's off, right? My red is not lined up with my red there. So that wouldn't tessellate correctly. So with having that lined index card is really nice to use because you can line it up perfectly. There we go. And then remember, no gaps. So like I said, I like to take my tape and put it on I'm going to zoom out a little bit now. All right, so, it's telling me to rotate. Hold on just a second. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take my tape, place it on here first, get it on there, okay? Now, I'm going to, again, try to place it down so that I have it perfectly on there. Slide it up next to it. Remember, gaps are not good. And then I can use my index card lines to really show me how to place it on there nice and neat. And look, if I overlap, don't do that too. Again, area is very important. So I'm really taking my time, really adjusting, slowing it down. There we go. Tap, tap, tap. It's on there. And then I'm going to take my tape and go over on the, just get some more tape on there so that it does not fall apart on you. So I'm just going to sit here because this is going to be your pattern. This is a pattern that we're creating. And so we're going to use this pattern to tessellate our transfer tessellation. So I'm going to tape the back, and this is going to get a lot of abuse if you use this. You're going to use, if this is your final one, it's going to really get a lot of use. So you want to actually make sure that you tape it up nice and neat. I'm going to take that piece of tape off, cut it off. I don't want that tape there. Make sure that I don't get on the paper. Good. And again, I should be able to bend this forward and backward like that. And I'm going to put some tape on the back without having any issues. All right. Tape here on the back. All right, so I'm going to show you Lindsay's too. Now, this is the fun part right here. Oh, I got to get rid of that tape right there. This is the fun part right here to see how these tessellate. Okay, so if you have your extra paper and you've taped really well, I'm going to wait for a couple minutes. And then, so unfortunately, I really love the larger paper for this piece, which would be the 12 by 18, but unfortunately, I don't know if a lot of our friends have this size at home, so we're just going to go ahead and use the 9 by 12. And the reason why we're using this is 9 by 12. The reason why we're using 9 by 12 is that 9 divided by 3 inches is 3, right?
Mm-hmm. So they're both divisible by 3.
Right,
and the
very
squares
good.
we're using are 3 by 3.
Excellent, Lindsay.
So.
There you go. So they're divisible by 3, and that's why we're using those, so that we're going to get a nice we're going to get a nice look at what these tessellations can be. So usually first, I have my students take this, and I want you guys to write on this tessellation right here. I just want you to write T and put a circle on it, and that means transfer. This is our transfer one. We're going to learn how to make 3 different tessellations. And this is our transfer one that we're going to create today. And you can spend time outside of art today doing this, where you can sit here and trace around yours. And remember, when you trace around it, hold your hand down, take your time. Make sure that you're not moving this tessellation. There's some areas that could be a little bit tricky that when you're moving it, but on a separate piece of paper, what I'm doing right now, I'm not tessellating this right now. I'm just trying to look at this and take this piece, and what I do is I turn it around and I look at it. And I say to myself, oh my gosh, what could that be? Well, I tend to see lots of animals in these, totally. I'm an animal lover, so for me, I see lots of animals. I see... because that's probably in the back of my mind. Like on this one, I could see a candle with a cake there. You're going to have to get creative with your ideas. I see a bird here with a big beak, with a big head, with some wings going, with some feet right here. So, I could practice just drawing like a big beak. Oh, look at that big beak. Isn't that hilarious? Big, huge eye. And you can just practice with these. And then, maybe some lines here. Here's the thing. You don't want too much detail on this because you're going to have to draw this several times. So you don't want to have like 18,000 lines on this, because trust me, it's going to be harder for you like, so if I sit here and draw a line, 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 I'm going to have to draw all those lines every time I put that tessellation on there. I know, look at his little beak is so...
It looks like a fish.
It looks like a fish and a bird. Yep, it looks like a fish bird. Yeah, so, and you could even morph these into something fun, too. It is cute. So, isn't that funny? It does look like a fish bird. That is hilarious, Lindsay. It does. So, again... that you're making it so, but I wanted to show you. So then you can draw another one out too, you know, and that's where your imagination can go wild, guys. This is where you can have lots of fun. So I'm just erasing that so I don't have to redraw again. But like I saw this earlier. I saw a line here, a line there. Ooh, I could turn this out like that. I could do a little eye. Look what this is turning into. I wonder if anyone can tell. And then I could draw two like little lines here, a line there.
Looks like an elephant.
Yep, looks like an elephant, doesn't it, Lindsay? And you know, maybe 3 lines there for my elephant snout, and then a line here for the ear, and a line there for the ear, and there's your elephant. Okay? So there's 2 ideas that I just showed you. And you know what? It really takes like you looking at this, like students of mine used to take theirs home and ask their family members, what does this look like? You know, what does this look like? And I got so many different responses, and there's some pictures on here that you can see. So let's talk about how to tessellate this. So we're just using a practice piece of paper right now, okay? So we're just using a practice piece of paper because all we're doing is practicing. This is not your final, okay? Because you might not even choose this one. So, remember how I made you fold those over at the beginning like this? Well, look at that. That turns into a right angle. That's super cool. That's gonna guide us on how to make this tessellation work. All right, so watch. I take those 2 folds, and no matter what I make, even if I'm making an elephant, I'll turn my paper the way I want it, but we have to do it this way. So I line those up, again, really being, I'm gonna zoom in on that so you can see, I'm really being picky about this. That's why I'm putting this on the black table right now so you guys can see this right here. So look, if I'm down too low, if I'm crooked like this, it's not going to work. I need to make sure that it's perfectly on there like so. And then I'm going to open it up like that, open it up like that. Now I'm going to hold it down and draw what is on my paper. So I'm going to just sit here and take my time, hold my paper in place, because this first one sets the tone for every other one that you're going to do. All right, now that you've done that, you can pull it off, and if you've missed spots, you can go back through and kind of fix it and clean it up if you need to. That's your first one. So I'm going to wait for people to get that done, and that's your first line or your first tessellation that you're going to be doing. So what we're doing now is, again, we're going to transfer these like they're marching across your paper, that they're following. Tomorrow we're going to learn rotation, and they'll rotate around. Ooh. And then on Thursday we're going to learn reflection, and then we're going to pick one out of the 3 and have it be our final masterpiece. So that's going to be super cool. All right, so hopefully everyone's had a chance to do that. So you get to choose between 3 tessellations that you want. And you may say, oh, this is the one I want. I know, Miss Meyer, this is the one I want. You don't know that. We're going to give you lots of choice. So now look, that top part needs to line up there. You're not going to redraw right here because that's already a puzzle piece that's fit in. So you're just going to take your next one and draw it across like this. And if you don't get this on the top part of this line, you're going to get a case of the droops, and that's not pretty. And let me see. Well, because you got to go to the side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
there we go.
You're at the bottom. So, okay, so look, if yours doesn't match up, then you don't have it on there right. So look, let me show you.
Did I do it in the wrong place?
Yeah, let me see. So Lindsay, nope, you didn't do it in the wrong place. So Lindsay said hers doesn't match up because she doesn't have hers the right way. See? So always go back to that first one. If it doesn't match up for you, she had it on the wrong side. So it's not going to match up. If you are not matching up, go back to your first one, use that as your home base, slide it over, and then look, now it matches up. See, Lindsay? Now look, Lindsay, when yours matches up here, it kind of curves down. You're going to fix that by making sure that this is up here. I know you got a little extra gap there. Pretend like that doesn't exist. You have to for area, and then you're just going to draw here, draw that out, and then that's going to be your next one. But make sure that this is on that top part of your paper.
Thank you.
So if it does not match up, that's why I'm so glad Lindsay's here. So you can see, and I can see where there could be some issues. And trust me, you'll get it. So look, you're going to do the same thing all the way across your paper, okay, at the top. You're going to make sure that it lines up, and you're going to draw it all the way across, all right? As you're doing that, please, please, please make sure that you are double checking. So look, on here, I'm not a computer. I'm a human. So I'm going to make a mistake. Look, that overlaps there. I don't care. The only thing I care about is that that kind of fits into this space right there, and that this is on the top part of my paper, and I can fold that back over and support it, hold it in place, or you're going to get droops. And what happens is if you get a droop, it starts sliding down, and it starts going at an angle. And so it doesn't look so uniformed. And that's okay if you do get the droops, but sometimes they're major droops, and this will stop the major droops doing this. And again, there we go. Look, I'm a little off there, and that's all right. And then go back through and fix up what you need to. And then the last one should fit in pretty perfect to your corner. Now, this is copy paper, so it's truly not 11, it's 8.5. So look, I'm not going to get all that final tessellation there. The only thing I need to worry about, oh, hi, Basie. She's definitely curious. Oh, Basie. Oh my gosh. So funny. So the only thing I need to worry about is that it fits correctly here, and that it fits up correctly here in that corner. And again, if this was nice drawing paper, it'd be 9 by 12. It's 8. It's not. It's copy paper, so it's going to go off the edge a little. So you're not going to see all that final tessellation, and that's fine because tessellations go on and on and on and on and on and on forever. All right, so I made a little mistake there. I need to fix that up, and I can just take my tessellation right here and fix up that little mistake that I made by using that pattern. Perfect. And this takes some time to draw this out. Trust me, it does. But it's worth it when you start seeing it tessellate. It's so cool. So cool. It really is. So, Lindsay's got her top row. Good. So you're only seeing partials of your tessellation right now. You have not seen one full tessellation. You won't see your full tessellation until you're in your second row and the second one in. So to see your tessellation come to life, you got to kind of work for it. So here we go. For the second row, you got to pull this back, fold this down, make sure it's on the edge, place it up nice and neat. Now look, I have some gaps here, and that's okay. I just want to make sure that this is lined up perfect here, and then I'm just going to draw that out. And as long as I've done that, I should be okay. And then I'm just going to draw this out till I get to the side of my paper, and voila. There's my next tessellation. And again, these are transferring. The rotating ones, next time, tomorrow, we turn them as we go. And they look like they're spinning in space. But in transfer, it's like I said, it just looks like one is following the other, it's following the other, it's following the other. And it's like puzzle pieces, and it's really cool. You're manipulating a plane and making it, yep, so Lindsay's, there you go. So now, on this one, it's going to be easier to draw because look, you've already got this edge, and you've already got that edge, and you just want to make sure that you've placed them down there so you can see nice and tight. Hold on, and then just draw that one. And this is going to be the very first time that you've seen your tessellation on your paper fully. That's why I like the larger paper, the 12 by 18, because you get more of these full tessellations. On this paper, you only get 2. Oh, you should get 4 because we're gonna have 9 by 12. But if you're on copy paper, you're only gonna have 2 actual ones that you get to see. And that's okay. We're at home, we're doing our best we can.
That looks cool.
Yeah, isn't that cool? So look, now, as you're starting to get your first one in, you move it over again. See, look, this isn't placing very well, so I'm gonna use my top one as my guideline. And you can see that I've got some overlap. I'm gonna not fix that. I'm just gonna pretend that that's part of it and just draw and not worry about that. Again, my pattern moves as I draw. So for me to have this perfect, I'm not gonna have it perfect. And look, so I'm just gonna bring that back so it looks like it's almost perfect there. Basie, you got it. Sorry guys, Basie. Down. All right, she's just, she's a little crazy girl this morning. All right, so, sorry about that. So, now we have 2 tessellations on our paper, and our final one we're gonna place right here. And again, sliding it up. And remember, we are not gonna get our whole tessellation in there. Ta-da. I know Mom says hi, Basie. All right, and then, you could even use your, there we go. Ta-da. Now.
That looks like a frog dancing.
Yours does look like a frog dancing. Lindsay said hers looks like a frog dancing. I could see, can I draw on it, Lindsay? I can see an eye here, an eye there, like a big ribbit mouth, little nostril, but you don't want to go too crazy with it. Sorry, Lindsay, I'm drawing really light on that, okay? And then, you could draw, his back, hoppy foot. You could even put some musical notes in it, or he could have a hand here holding something. I mean, you guys, he could have a microphone. I mean, you guys, you can see how you can have so much fun.
When we were thinking on them earlier, I was like, I do not see anything in mine.
It does. You've got to kind of sit quietly, and it takes a minute for you to figure out what yours is. Oh, sorry, that was, my cat. Oh, gosh. Woo, she's been crazy today. So look, your bottom one, same way as you did the other ones here. Again, drawing it out. And again, this is, yep, it should be perfect on that side because it is 9. There you go. Look like that. And then again, you will go through and just tessellate the rest of this. And then, so your thing is take another piece of paper that you just didn't sit and tessellate all day, okay? And draw out your paper, like you should have like 15 of these on here, or whatever, just draw it out, over and over again, and just really turn it around and look at it and say, what could that be? What could that be? What could that be? And it doesn't have to be an animal. I'm an animal lover, so I see lots of animals in these. It could be, a boat. It could be, use your imagination. Your imagination, oh my gosh, really, creativity is just your intelligence and brain just having fun. I think Albert Einstein said something about like creativity is just your brain just having fun, intelligence having fun. That's it. I love that. Now look, this one is not wanting to fit in there perfect. I wanted to shove it back and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that's not the right way. So I was trying to fix my mistake, but it wasn't a mistake because remember, we didn't get our full tessellation on this final. So when you get done with this, okay, and you've chose the one you want, please do not try to draw it on here until I show you what to do, because we're gonna do 3 of these, and there's a thing called pencil transfer. that I'm going to teach you. It's an old hack.
It's a fun one.
And it's a fun hack, but I don't want to teach it to you yet today. So you can practice on here, like trying to draw yours on here. Like say, you know, you did choose the elephant and you want to practice drawing it on your final and looking at it. That's fine, but you're not going to do it perfect every time. So maybe I should show you how to pencil transfer real quick and then we'll be done. So let me show you real quick. So say the elephant's the one I want to do, okay? I'm going to cut that out. Okay, whatever I'm doing, I'm going to cut that out. Now, I'm not going to spend time cutting this out perfectly today, okay? I'm just not. But I'm going to actually cut this down a little bit more, and then we'll be done for the day after I'm done showing you how to do this pencil transfer. So, again, you are not going to use your pattern for this because your pattern's too delicate. You need this pattern. This is like your golden ticket. So what I would do is at the end of the day today, tape this to the back of your tessellation so that you have your pattern with you. Because if you lose your pattern, it's going to be a sad day because we've tried to cut them out before again and it just doesn't work. It just, trust me, you need that pattern. That's like gold right now. So, okay, how to pencil transfer, and then we'll be done for the day and I'll show you really quickly. So, I know that really all I need are my eyes, this little, you know, my tusks, and I don't need to do anything here. So what I'm going to do is turn this over, and down the middle, I'm going to take my pencil and I am going to push hard.
And scribble.
And scribble. And so you could go get a thin piece of cardboard to draw your tessellation on for this. So basically you're just scribbling really hard. You're getting the graphite from your pencil to basically use it as a copy machine. This is before we had copy machines. This is before we had light boards. This is before we had iPads. So you need to do this very thick on the back. So you need something to withstand this and withhold it, okay? And you only need it where you've drawn. So don't spend the time, and you're gonna have to redo this over and over again too. So that's what it looks like, got it? Okay, so here's my original. So now I'm gonna place it down on my piece of paper where, I gotta find where it's supposed to be because I didn't cut it out perfect. Hold on, I'm gonna give myself a cutting point so I can see where to place this. Hold on. I'm gonna do one more right there. Okay, so look, now I can take my pencil transfer, lay it down. I would have cut this out perfect. Do you hear me, guys? I would not just be going on ghost lines right now. Actually, I'm gonna go like this real quick so I don't wanna show them and not be right. Okay, so now I have my top in, my bottom in, okay, left and right. Now, I take my pencil and I've got to apply a little bit of pressure. Now, you don't want to go crazy on this. You're going to use your lines. I am pushing pretty hard. Did you hear my pencil almost crack? My pencil almost cracked. So I'm pushing really hard, and I'm going to have to do this over and over again. But what is so cool is once I'm done, watch what happens, guys. Ta-da! Magic! Woohoo! All right. So look at that, guys. Look at that. I can actually see my tessellation, and now I can just go over it again. And
Boys.
there it is. And so I will have the same drawing on everything. And then what I'll do next is just move my tessellation to another area. Make sure I have it on there nice and neat. And I am going to draw my line again. Line again. Here we go. There we go. And again, you know, this is my elephant. And again, you don't have to use animals, but look, ta-da, there it is again. Oh, I didn't do the eyes, so I need to put my eyes back in there. Now, it was getting a little light, so what I would do for my next tessellation before I do that is add more pencil, like Lindsay was saying, yep, right on top. And voila, there you go, draw it in, and then that way they're perfect. So tomorrow, boy, The puppies are anxious today. So are the kitties. Have a great day, guys. Keep art in your heart. This is definitely our transfer one. Tomorrow we're going to work on rotation. And then on Friday we're going to make a reflection. And you'll get to choose which one you want for your final. Have a great day. Keep art in your heart. Look MC Escher up. He's so cool. Born in 1898 from the Netherlands. We love him. Have a great day, guys. Bye.